have been stealing property, that property that's built on that corner. Mayor, you so silly. You didn't even have the nerve enough to bring it to the board, bring it to the citizens. You didn't even make sure that the town, some of the residents got the jobs over there on that construction site. But you know why? Because you doing pay to play, baby. They paying you. That's why. You're doing pay to play. The reason the business people didn't get their business license, because they wouldn't pay to play with you. That is why. And the FBI know. They know everything you're doing. And baby, you better come with those receipts, because if you don't, you probably played Kwame. Y'all played him, but the FBI sure enough gonna be knocking on your door at your house, coming to get your ass at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Welcome back, warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. So today I've got more chaos. Oh my goodness. Chaos from the so-called super mayor. Oh, the Thornton Township people are, woo, this is brutal. It's really kind of hard to watch, but it's dramatic, so you might want to stick around. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Be sure to watch it all the way to the end, and please make sure your notifications are turned on. Follow me at ChatWithMeLindaB on Patreon, TikTok, X, and Instagram. Also, email me at chatwithmelindaB@gmail.com. Now, without further ado, let's get into it.
For your own makeup and your own stylist. Why would you think that the residents have to pay for that? You are so stupid.
Surviving here. This administration is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
Because you know what? Y'all getting RICO charges. Y'all getting RICO charges because y'all have conspired to lie to the residents. You all have been stealing property, that property that's built on that corner. Mayor, you so silly. You didn't even have the nerve enough to bring it to the board, bring it to the citizens. You didn't even make sure that the town, some of the residents got the jobs over there on that construction site. But you know why? Because you doing pay to play, baby. They paying you. That's why. You're doing pay to play. The reason the business people didn't get their business license, because they wouldn't pay to play with you. That is why. And the FBI know. They know everything you're doing. And baby, you better come with those receipts, because if you don't, you probably played Kwame. Y'all played him, but the FBI sure enough gonna be knocking on your door at your house, coming to get your ass at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Woo! Talk about a little mad, ain't she? What? That's right, because she wouldn't let people have their business licenses if they did not donate to her campaign. That is according to what these business owners have said. Pay to play. You gotta pay to play with Tahoe Tiffany. According to residents, that woman is a gangster. And they're gonna talk about her real bad in this video. They're gonna say she can't talk, she dumb, she's stupid. Yeah. Think they got that point across? You let me know in the comments.
And I feel as a young Black woman, you have told us time and time again that you have the receipts. And that's all this is really about: being transparent, being open, being honest. It has nothing to do with shaming a Black woman in power, nor shaming the super mayor, as you so infinitely call yourself, with a whole bunch of flyers and billboards. Yeah, the little heart was cute, but I really don't appreciate the way you played my son out of his money for the little dance camp that you also promised him that everyone else does not know about. It's not that we're stalking the Black woman in power.
Mr. Delgado, unasked that seat. You got $1.2 million between us and the township. You can go home and play with your checkbook or whatever you play with. But sitting up there, you need to go. You don't protect us. You don't represent us. You represent the mayor. First of all, it is misconduct. And if there's anything I can do about it, it's going to be done. You represent the mayor against the people's trustees. What kind of bullshit is that? And you call yourself our lawyer. You call yourself our lawyer. It tells me what you think of us, that you show up here. And the same thing with you, Keith. The nerve of you all to put your asses in front of us when you disrespect us the way you do.
I don't want to say this because you've always said, let me educate y'all. Let me educate y'all. And it's insulting. I mean, what are your credentials? You don't have the wherewithal to educate a preschooler, and you're trying to educate us who have degrees and other things. I mean, it is insane. Please retire that phrase. It's egregious at this point. Let me educate y'all. Um, I don't understand it. And then, you're always saying fake news, they hating on me. Fake news. We're like, I mean, why would anyone just want to hate on the mayor? I mean, you have to give them a reason to want to hate you, and you've given everyone several. You're not accountable. You don't respect people that have a different opinion or opinion that goes against yours. You're not qualified at this point. You're not qualified for that seat for various reasons. We're not even going to talk about like the grammar. I mean, that's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Keith Freeman, let me not forget about you and that deer in headlight look you had on the news. And I hope you get everything that's coming to you. Chief Lacey, you're bogus. I saw the whole live with Jedediah. You literally concocted a story, and you went and you made a report based on your imagination, basically, because what you said did not happen. He was live, and people were watching live. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I can't understand why you would just so blatantly, knowing your position, knowing the oath that you're sworn to, disrespect a citizen for no reason, really. I mean, other than a personal reason. You didn't have a legal reason. It's just a matter of time. Time is ticking. People are waiting, and people are going to celebrate. I'm going to be right there.
Yeah, that is embarrassing. She does say that whole thing, let me educate y'all. Let me educate y'all. That is so unprofessional. It is her grammar, her vernacular is just totally not on point. And the woman said, you don't even have the wherewithal to educate a preschooler, and you're trying to educate us who have degrees. Not that you have to have a degree to be intelligent, but clearly there's something going on with Tiffany Henyard where her grammar is not even correct. This woman is from the streets. Not saying you can't be successful from the streets, but that way of thinking that's street-like is still in her. You can't do things like you dealing with people on the street. You're the mayor, you're the supervisor over this township, and you are supposed to be a certain way. You're supposed to be should be anyway. We know a lot of politicians don't, line up with that. You should be intelligent enough. You should present yourself a certain way. You should be accountable. You should follow the rules. And I know there's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas because a lot of politicians don't do that. But it has gotten onto a dangerously feverish pitch with Tiffany Henyard. Yes, the super mayor, Tahoe Tiffany, the female version of Nino Brown from New Jack City. This woman is, according to the residents, and allegedly horrendous, and herself a criminal. We need to do background checks. We need to do whatever we need to do to get the right people in place. So it's been going on this long. So what's going to really ultimately probably happen, I can't predict the future. I'm not God, but she's going to have to be voted out. She's going to have to be voted out, and she is not going to go easily. She's going to go kicking and screaming. I already see it right now. She has a very high instance of narcissism. She's all about herself, the makeup, the trips, the using of funds for her own personal detail, taking away the police cars. And I hate to say it, but as mad as these citizens are at Tiffany Henyard, she probably needs to get her own security detail, but don't take it from the police that are on the streets. You need to get some other kind of security, but don't take it from the taxpayers who deserve that security for themselves, because this is a suburb or an area near Chicago. And Chicago in and of itself is bad. So the areas around it have also, unfortunately, they have a high instance of crime. Oh my word. Chaos. And there's some chaos. Lord.
And that's the thing that I know that people don't like to give credit when credit's due. You have won every case, and you made sure the villages The village has been victorious throughout it all, and I just love you for sticking with us. So thank you so much for that, because people don't want to give you your flowers and your credit when you do. And for those that don't know, he is called a super lawyer, just like your super mayor. How about that? He's going to super jail, just like the super mayor.
He's going to super jail, just like the super mayor. These people are a trip. They are a trip and a half.
Dolton and Thornton Township is charged with fraud connected to an alleged bankruptcy scheme.
The village also completed negotiations with the police patrol, police lieutenants, and the sergeants.
Right here you see Keith Freeman, who sits next to embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, discussing finances at a recent village board meeting. The U.S. attorney accuses Freeman of concealing assets and incomes from his creditors. He faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted. We reached out to Freeman and various Dolton officials, but have not yet heard back.
Fake news, which is they come out and they film things and they put our community in a bad light. At the end of the day, guys, I say this and I mean this. We have to still live here. When they leave, we have to fix what's broken. And you cannot keep up chaos, keep up mess, and bring it to your community and point the finger and don't think it's three more. Not
Wait a minute. They bring chaos. What about you bringing chaos? You have to fix it, which means they got to get rid of you, Tiffany Henyard, the so-called super mayor. You a super pain in the A-double-S. That's what you are. Allegedly.
point back at you. So what I try to teach is I lead with love, and I try to educate the public on the things they don't know. Thank you so much. On the things that they don't know, such as your taxes. I know this last board meeting, I see Trustee House left because he said that he did not vote to increase your property taxes. Yet the board put out that I raise your taxes. I don't even vote for taxes, but the board voted and raised your property taxes. But I want to show you this because at the end of the day, like I said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So I want to show you in black and white, and I always tell you, do your homework. You can FOIA it, you can go check it out, you can get the ordinances. That way you'll see who is doing what instead of being misled. Because right now, guys, you have been hoodwinked, you've been bamboozled, you've been led astray, you've been all these things, and I'm trying to show you what it is that you're missing.
They've been led away, hoodwinked, and bamboozled by you. Oh, Lord, this woman.
Hear you as a resident in regards to the things that the people who are over the day-to-day operation, the decisions that they make, the fact that they do not prioritize this spending, and then they come up here and say, hey, vote for this, vote for that. I found it quite interesting that we have our mayor that just sat up here and said, oh, you want receipts for the taxes? I'll put it on Snapchat. I found that particularly interesting considering that we've been asking for financials for months. Put that on Snapchat for us, please. We have $4 million in checks that the board have approved that have not been dispersed. The checks are on someone's desk. Whose desk? We do not know. So when we continue to ask for financials, when we make decisions, it's just responsible. You know, we were elected to do a job, and that's what we're here to do. We keep saying, hey, this spending is getting out of control. We've been saying that for months. You have Trustee Belcher just set up here and asked, hey, if we're making decisions on vote for the bills, could someone tell us about the $6.8 million grant? We didn't receive an answer. But yet, we're told that the bag is being here, the bag is present, but the bag is empty, guys. It's empty.
People to know why we're not, because you would get up here and lie and be like, they don't want to buy the properties and they don't want to spend no money. So we motion and second, like we can do in Robert's Rules of Order and discussion. The discussion is we don't trust you to buy penny candy, and no, we're not buying no property because the village of Dolton is not in the business of property. Y'all done already stole about 60 houses, so ain't nobody gonna deal with you buying no property. So that's the end of my discussion.
I second that motion.
Woo, you all, that is a lot of chaos. The emotions were high, and you see there was a lot of talking over each other. I wasn't even sure what they were saying at one point. And again, we already know that Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of the village of Dolton and the supervisor of Thornton Township. So everyone, all the constituents, all the voters in those areas are upset with her. The board of trustees, rightfully so. No money has been accounted for. There have been grants brought in. There's been a bunch of money brought in, but no one can say where it went. No one can say how this money was accounted for. No expense reports were provided, according to Jason House, who is one of the trustees of the board for the village of Dolton. And he was behind getting the FBI to come investigate Henry. So it's so much going on with Tiffany Henry, and you see her attitude is like she thinks nothing can happen to her. But I'm telling you all, I know this might not get to everyone it needs to get to. I know it won't, but please share my videos because people need to vote differently. The same Democrat Party is just going to put another person like Tiffany Henry in his place. You see what happened in Fulton County, Georgia. The previous DA before Fonnie Willis was accused of having inappropriate relationships and funds and all kind of chaos coming out of that office. Fonnie Willis ran on the fact that the people of Fulton County deserve someone who's not having inappropriate relationships with their employees, and then the money to be spent the right way. Well, guess what she did? Inappropriate relationship with Nathan Wade and misappropriation of funds. The children in that community that were supposed to get that federal grant money, because federal grant money is supposed to be used specifically for a particular thing, and it was supposed to keep the inner city youth out of gangs. That never happened. It never went for that. It went to trips and other things that it wasn't supposed to go towards. Again, grant money is specific. That's why she was called up. She was subpoenaed to appear before the House Judiciary Committee, before Jim Jordan. So anytime you got to look at the pattern. You got to look, okay, what's the problem? Why are we not getting any results? It's because y'all keep voting Democrat. That's why you're not getting results. You need to try something else. It can't hurt you. You have nothing to lose, because right now you are losing big and it can't get any worse. So try voting Republican, and hopefully it's a MAGA Republican and not a rhino. Unfortunately, there are rhinos. So this is going to call for research on the part of those citizens all across the country. Y'all need to do your research. Make sure they are a MAGA Republican. Look at their history. Look and see if they have a criminal record. Tiffany Henry has a criminal record. Can't preach it hard enough and long enough. It's got to be a spiritual thing at this point. It's going to take an act of God to make people wake up. I can't talk enough. I can talk to the cows come home. My mouth is dry. I keep talking. And, people have got to realize that and just be factual. Look in your communities and look at how they are being ran. They are being ran into the ground, and they have Democrats over them. Yes, and they're going to get a Democrat that looks like you to trick you into voting for them. And unfortunately, that works for a lot of people, and that's sad. And God in His infinite wisdom, I believe, is trying to teach us not to look at the wrong thing. That's why you keep getting the bad things going on in your community. You better get it together. So this is specifically for all Americans, but even more specifically for the village of Dolton and Thornton Township. You got to get that woman out of there. If she is as bad as you say, it appears she is as crooked as the day is long. It appears so. I don't know her personally, but all these people coming at her like this many people, this many. You all give me your comments, and if you know anything else about Tiffany Henry. But that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check your notifications. Remember to follow me on Rumble, ChatWithMeLindaB, but it's all one word. And I'm also Instagram, TikTok, X, and Patreon as ChatWithMeLindaB. You all be blessed. And as I always say, march on, warriors.